Hello, junior high Sunday school. It's another beautiful week. I wish we could be gathering together in the church hall this week, but it is what it is. We're bearing with the pandemic and our restrictions. Mr. Donahue here. Today we are going to discuss the epistle and gospels. I know typically we are not upstairs for either of these. We can watch it on the screen and listen to it through the intercom. But these are two very important, let's call them lessons that we do in the church, and these are daily. Now, year to year, they're the same. We celebrate the feast days, and the gospel is typically related to that feast day. Uh, let's start with the epistles, though. The epistles are letters. So these are typically letters from the apostles, such as James and John, and they're letters about what's going on in the Christian church, more like lessons. So you have the epistle readings, and then immediately following will be the gospel reading. The epistle is, we could say, more casual. The congregation is sitting during them. It's read by a person, the chanter, someone of the congregation. And as we know, the gospel reading is read by the priest, Father Theodore, Father Tom, or Deacon Jim. And the gospels are from the Bible, and they're from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And these readings all come from those chapters of the gospel. However, each day, Sunday, it's different, and it's based off of the feast day that we are celebrating that day. The way to differentiate these epistle readings and the gospel readings are the epistles were letters to the first Christians, whereas the gospel are writings about Jesus's life, the miracles he performed, his teachings. So these are more stories. A significant time for gospels, which I know we're a bit away from it, but during Easter, Holy Week, there are numerous gospels. Holy Thursday night, we have many, many gospels, and the point of those gospels is sort of the stories and following the timeline of when Jesus was crucified and hung on the cross. That's why the altar boys are in and out constantly, and just as there are so many gospels, there are so many epistles to follow up to be before those gospel readings. So that's a day on Holy Wednesday when we get the oil. That's another day in our calendar as Greek Orthodox Christians that has numerous epistle readings and gospel readings. I know we're not usually up in church like I had mentioned, but I challenge you all to, because every day there's an epistle reading and a gospel reading, I challenge you, class, to take a look at them, to read them. And I know you're at home. An epistle and the gospel reading are not going to take you long. You could probably read both in 5 to 10 minutes, but each one serves a purpose. The epistle is a letter. It usually, how I receive it, is a good life lesson. It's telling you, respect your brother and sister, respect authority, different things like that, different lessons to be learned. Then you can read the gospel, and that's something where you're learning about Jesus's teachings, Jesus's life, and those are different miracles and things that Jesus actually performed, and that's where the gospel comes from, which the gospel translates to good news, and that's what the gospel should be. So every morning, take an extra 5-10 minutes, maybe while you're eating breakfast, read these readings. You'll find that they're very interesting. They're not boring. I know sometimes in church we can be like, oh, it's the gospel. But that's not the way we should look at it. We should look at it as, what can I learn today? Take it as another 5-minute period in school that you're learning about not only Jesus's life and his miracles, but you're also reading what the apostles were seeing and what the letters they were writing and things they were communicating to the first Christians back thousands of years ago. So that will be all for today. I know it's sort of brief, but the epistle and the gospel are very important parts of our service, and it's not always something that we pay attention to since we are in Sunday school, but these are daily readings, and I challenge you, class, to take an interest in them. I know when I was younger, I used to read the epistle pretty frequently, and I know you usually can walk away with something valuable, something that you can learn and maybe apply to life. So I hope everyone has a great week. Please fill out the Google form I have attached to this, and I hope to see you all in church. God bless.